I've tried to be concise with my words, so if you need more details, clarifications, etc. in order to help, please let me know. I'm in a horrible place, but I'm not looking to vent about my wife or complain about how selfish she has been. I'm looking for help, advice, opinions based on experience, and a place to feel loved. Please keep that in mind when replying. Over the last year, my wife and I have talked about having an open relationship, but only talked. I was open to the idea, but said it would only work if we trusted each other 100% and put our relationship and each other's needs first. That we had to respect the boundaries and rules we would no doubt need to have in place if we were to have an open relationship. I also emphasized I'd never want to hear about her sexual encounters. Last time we talked about it, I said I'd be willing to try an open relationship for a set period of time. And like every time we talked before, I made it clear this only works if we trust each other 100% and respect rules and boundaries, which we needed to lay out, and that it also made no sense for me to agree to one now while I'm still physically healing. 2 weeks ago, she went out alone and didn't come back until 5 a.m. The next day, she told me she slept with another guy because she thought it was okay. She was feeling guilty and looking for me to say it was okay. When she told me, I punched a hole in the wall, then I broke down in tears and spilled my heart out. I told her how hurt I was that she just assumed we had agreed to open our relationship and that she had to pick the clubs or me. After an hour of us talking, I agreed to forgive her and we scratched that she go back to being exclusive with me. During this time, her buddies from the club were texting her inviting her out. She claims complete innocence, that she wasn't trying to get her own way but truly thought it was okay to start sleeping with other guys. I told her if she really thought that it was because she was too focused on herself and not us. She apologized, then asks if it's okay if she goes out with them. I won't sleep with anyone. At that point, I knew this was fucked. I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped being nice and started yelling at her. We fought for 3 more hours. We arrived right back to the last resolution, only this time she really seemed contrite and sorry. I told her she had to pick me or end it now. She said me. We both knew it was going to be hard. We said as much, but we agreed we'd work together to fix this. The next day, her birthday, I had planned dinner with friends and then games back at our apartment. She tells me midday she invited everyone to the bar after dinner to celebrate. She drags me out again, forces me to watch her as she grinds on other guys and make out with one of them. After 2 days of fighting, she told me she found herself and she thinks if she finds herself she'll love me more, but if I don't let her find herself, she's going to stick with me but be a husk of a person. I booked her an Airbnb for the week, and she was upset I wasn't happy she was going. She thinks she's going to find herself and come back to me. She's texting me and wants to come back, and I told her she could come back when she found herself and understood why and how we got to where we are now in our relationship. But I don't know if I want her back. I don't know if I can wait through another week. My last breakup, the girl asked me to wait 3 months for her to decide between me or this other guy, and I waited. I waited because I loved her and desperately wanted to be with her, too blind to see she didn't want to be with me. My wife knows this, and still had to go out and ask me to wait for her, for a week, for her to find herself and decide if this is what she wants. She's put me in my own personal hell again, and I don't know if I can forgive her for that. I don't know if we can come back from this. I want to be able to come back, but I don't know if I'm just kidding myself. Edit, to those asking, I have Lyme's disease that was left untreated, undetected for many years, and an incompetent doctor who threw antibiotics at me until it tore a hole in my stomach. I'm down to a liquid diet and suffer malnutrition because of it. I'm 5'6" and have dropped below 100 pounds. If I get sick, it's bad because I have no immune system to help me. I've been on death's doorstep more than once. I also caught Rocky Mountain spotted fever and have some leftover co-infections that cause problems like chronic muscle pain and rheumatoid arthritis. Updates. Edit. Thank you all who have contributed with their advice, comfort, and insight. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to make it this far in the day without it. I agree with so much that's been said. The first part was a mistake on both our parts. I should have laid out the rules and boundaries clearly and been more clear that we weren't ready to start. I just didn't know I needed to. I trusted her to protect our relationship like I was doing, and she told me she understood this. It's wanting to go out again, right after the fight, and then dragging me out to the club the next day and doing what she did. It was hateful, selfish, and childish. So perhaps it's time for an updated question. I have it in my mind to tell her that if she needs another day to find herself, she can find another husband. If that brings her home, I will let her know that things won't even begin to be fixed until she takes ownership for her actions. Open relationship is off the table. She has to let me into her email, text, Snapchat, everything, and if I don't like something, she has to stop. She has to give me 100% of her. She doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to never make a mistake again in her life, but she has to show me that she's giving 100% of herself to the relationship and to me. She has to show she values me and our relationship more than anything else, or else we're done. I'm asking for 100% commitment and effort, which is what I've been giving these last 4 years. If she can't promise that, it's over. This is what I'm going to do, and I think she's going to say she can't do it and that'll be it, but in the off chance I'm wrong, here's my question. Should I let her have the whole week, or tell her it's now or never? I have solid information she hasn't talked or seen another guy since she left. Maybe she is trying. Finally, for those saying I'm a doormat, need to grow a pair, stand up for myself, etc. I know, and I don't need to be told that. A traumatic past and 15 plus years of being sick have fucked my head up and I have no self-respect nor love for myself. I know this is a huge problem and I have been working on it. The fact that I am even considering breaking up is an incredible accomplishment for me. I'm having to relearn years of lies. I already know I need to learn to have some self-respect and love me, and I'm working on it, but I'm not there. I'm here, that's why I'm asking for help. Story 2. My soon-to-be ex-wife picked up our daughter and seemed down. Me being me, I asked what was wrong, though I kicked myself instantly. I can't see people in pain. What came was a good hour-long conversation about how much she messed up her life. I was recovering from a mental breakdown when she ended things. She'd been having an affair. I moved out while the house went up for sale because she had nowhere to go. She thanked me by moving him in and introducing him to my daughter straight away. It was a hard existence. Never felt pain like it before and I hope I never do again. She told me about his double life, the lies, the cheating, the other woman just like her he was seeing, that he'd proposed to, the third woman who was supposed to be her friend, and the messages to others. I was happy about the apparent jealousy he felt towards me. He lived rent-free in my head for so long that I'm glad I was wrong about them being happy. She told me how if she spent longer than 10 minutes dropping our daughter off, he thought we were sleeping together, how he hated most of all that she didn't hate me. She told me that her family, who so hurtfully cut me off, hated her for what she did to me and wouldn't speak to him at all. Seems he was very controlling. I'm worried my daughter has seen arguments and fighting. There have been times she's been angry herself with no apparent cause. For now she seems very happy, so I won't worry so much. Tears fell. She told me she regrets how easily she gave up on me and how she treated me. I didn't feel smug. I didn't feel happy she was sad or hurt. I felt sorry for her. Most of all, I feel vindicated. I feel like a knot in my chest I've had for so long has lifted and I can finally breathe properly for the first time. I felt so guilty for so long, like it was all my fault. I felt like such an unlovable fool. I'm not naive enough to think this is how she always felt, nor am I ignoring the fact that she knows how happy I am with my current partner, who I honestly think is the love of my life. All I could think about was her, how much she cares, how she builds me up. All just because she loves me. I just don't feel angry anymore. I looked into the eyes of someone who caused me so much pain, who I loved so much and threw me away anyway, and I felt the same as I feel when a client tells me their troubles. No love, no longing, just attached empathy I have with the people I work with. I finally feel like it's behind me. I finally feel like I've completely moved past the pain. I just needed to tell someone, who better to understand than you lovely bunch. I hope every one of you gets to feel this way one day.